Most people think something's wrong if you don't have many friends. Society pushes the idea that a large social circle equals success and happiness. But for Sigma males, having few friends isn't a sign of failure. It's often a conscious choice. These men aren't antisocial or unable to make friends. In fact, they could probably have more friends than most if they wanted to. The truth is, there are specific reasons why they prefer to keep their circle extremely small or even non-existent. Here are 7 hidden reasons why. Number 1. Their honesty hits harder than most people can handle. Most people say they want honest friends, but they actually want friends who make them feel good. Sigma males don't play this game. When you ask for their opinion, you get the truth, not some sugar-coated version to protect your feelings. This raw honesty scares people away faster than anything else. Tell someone their new business idea has obvious flaws, or that their relationship is clearly toxic, and watch how quickly they distance themselves. Even if they asked for honest feedback, what they really wanted was encouragement and approval. It's not about being mean or harsh. These guys just see lying as a form of disrespect. In their mind, if you care about someone, you tell them the truth, especially when it might help them avoid mistakes or grow as a person. But most people aren't ready for this level of honesty. You'll notice it in everyday situations, while others nod along and say, "That's great," to everything. A Sigma will point out potential problems or suggest better alternatives. They can't help but notice when someone's making a mistake, and staying quiet feels like watching a friend walk into a trap. This honesty extends to themselves too. They admit their own mistakes and face hard truths about themselves. This makes others uncomfortable because it forces them to look at their own lives more honestly. The funny thing is that people often come to them specifically for their honest opinion. But when they get it, they get upset or defensive. It's like asking someone to punch you and then getting mad when it hurts. Most people prefer comfortable lies over uncomfortable truths, rather than water down their honesty or pretend to agree with things they don't. Sigma males simply keep fewer friends. The ones who stick around are those rare people who actually value truth over comfort. Number 2. They have zero tolerance for shallow connections. Most people are happy having lots of casual friends, but Sigma males just can't do it. It's not that they hate people, they just get tired of fake smiles and empty conversations. Having to pretend they care about random gossip or the latest trends drains their energy completely. Watch them at social events. While everyone's busy making small talk and trading phone numbers they'll never use, these guys are either in a corner having a real conversation with someone interesting, or they've already left. They can't help but roll their eyes at those classic lines like, "Let's hang out sometime," when everyone knows it's never going to happen. They spot fake friendship from a mile away. You know those people who act super friendly, but never actually show up when you need them. Sigma males have zero patience for that. They'd rather be alone than deal with people who are only there for the good times or social media photos. When they talk about friendship, they mean something totally different from what most people think. They're not looking for drinking buddies or someone to like their posts. They want friends who can talk about real stuff, share actual interests, and be genuine, even if that means disagreeing sometimes. This makes them look antisocial to others. At parties or work events, they struggle to play along with all the fake laughing and empty compliments. It feels like everyone's wearing a mask, and they just can't put one on. What really matters to them is having real connections, even if that means having very few friends or none at all. One real friend who gets them is worth more than 50 fake ones who just want to look popular. It's that simple. They'd rather be alone than fake. This isn't about being better than anyone else. It's just about being honest with themselves and others. Number 3. They're tired of one-sided friendships. It's always the same story. They're the ones who listen, help out, and show up when needed. But when they need something, suddenly everyone's busy. After experiencing this pattern enough times, Sigma males just stop bothering. They've noticed how most friendships work these days. Some people only call when they need advice, want to vent, or need a favor. The moment you try to share your own struggles or thoughts, they either change the subject or have somewhere else to be. It's like being an emotional vending machine for others. This gets old really fast. While they don't mind helping people they care about, they've learned that most friends are just looking for free therapy. These guys end up knowing everything about their friends' lives, problems, and dreams, but no one ever asks about theirs. It's especially clear in group settings. They're expected to be there for everyone's birthday parties, celebrations, and tough times. But when they achieve something or need support, the group chat goes silent. After a while, they start seeing the pattern. They're just convenient friends for others. The breaking point often comes when they stop being the one who always reaches out first. Suddenly, those close friendships disappear into thin air. No calls, no messages, nothing. It becomes crystal clear who was actually invested in the friendship. This experience teaches them something valuable. Not everyone who calls you a friend actually cares about you. Some people are just good at taking what they need and giving nothing back. So instead of collecting more one-sided friendships, they choose to have none at all. Sigma males aren't asking for much, just basic reciprocity. If they listen to your problems, they expect you to listen to theirs sometimes too. If they make time for you, they expect you to do the same. When that basic give and take isn't there, they simply walk away. Number 4. They only trust what you do, not what you say. Watch what someone does, not what they say. That's how Sigma males judge friendship. They don't care much for big promises or emotional declarations. To them, a friend who shows up without being asked is worth more than 10 who just talk about being there. It's simple. Anyone can claim to be a good friend. People love throwing around phrases like, "I'm here for you," or "you can count on me." But when it's time to actually show up, that's when most of these promises turn to dust. This creates a problem in making friends because most people aren't used to being judged by their actions alone. They think sending a quick supportive text makes them a good friend, even if they never actually help when needed. For Sigma males, these empty gestures mean nothing. Watch how they handle their own friendships. They won't spam your phone with messages about how much they care. They'll quietly show up when you're moving house, or be the first to offer help when you're in a bind. That's how they prove their loyalty. Through actions, not words. This focus on deeds over words makes it hard to fit into today's friendship scene. While everyone else is busy saying the right things and making big shows of friendship on social media, these guys are looking for real proof of loyalty and care. It's really clear when trouble hits. That's when all the fancy words fade away, and you see who actually sticks around to help. Sigma males notice these patterns, and it affects who they choose to keep in their life. A single thoughtful action is worth more than 1,000 friendly messages. One person who shows up unasked when you need help is worth more than 20 who just send, "Let me know if you need anything" texts. This way of thinking naturally limits their friend circle, but in their view, one friend who backs up their words with actions is worth more than 100 who just talk a good game. Number 5. If something feels off, they'll distance themselves fast. You know that feeling when something seems off and you just don't feel comfortable with the situation or person. Most people ignore it to keep the peace, but Sigma males, they're already halfway out the door. The moment they spot red flags in a friendship, they start pulling back. No drama, no confrontation, just a quiet exit. Maybe it's how someone talks about their other friends behind their backs, or it could be something as simple as catching them in small lies or noticing the hidden motives behind their actions. Once a Sigma spots these warning signs, the friendship clock starts ticking. These men don't need solid proof or a big incident to back away. That gut feeling that something's not right is enough. while others might stick around hoping things will improve or ignore their instincts to keep the peace. These guys trust their inner alarm system. It's interesting how quick and quiet their exit usually is. No big announcements or dramatic goodbyes. They just become less available, take longer to respond, and gradually fade from that person's life. By the time others notice something's changed, they're already gone. This isn't about being paranoid or judgmental. They've just learned that those small warning signs usually grow into bigger problems. Why wait around for the drama to unfold when you can see it coming? It's like smelling smoke and leaving the building instead of waiting to see the fire. Some might call this behavior cold or unfair. You should give people a chance to explain, they say. But Sigma males have learned that explanations often just lead to excuses and empty promises. They'd rather trust their instincts and move on. This approach keeps their life drama-free, but also means their friend count stays low. They're okay with that trade-off. Better to have no friends than to ignore those warning signals and end up in toxic situations. Number 6. People often wear masks, hiding their true intentions. It's like living in a world of bad actors. Everyone's reading from a different script than what they really mean. Sure, I'd love to help often means, I hope you don't actually ask me. For Sigma males, this constant gap between words and reality is exhausting. They can't help but notice how people change their opinions based on who's in the room. Someone will agree with you completely in private, then take the opposite side in front of others. Or they'll praise you to your face but talk differently behind your back. After seeing this pattern enough times, it becomes hard to believe anything anyone says. The problem isn't just about lies. It's about all the little ways people aren't straight with each other. Like when someone's clearly upset but says they're fine, or when they agree to plans they have no intention of keeping. These small dishonest moments add up quickly. This mismatch between words and actions shows up everywhere. At work, in friendships, even in family relationships. People promise things they won't deliver, make commitments they won't keep, and share secrets that spread like wildfire. It's like everyone's playing a game where the rules keep changing. For these guys, it's simpler to just keep their distance. Why invest time and energy in connections where you have to constantly guess what people really mean? They'd rather have no friends than deal with the stress of never knowing what's real and what's just polite conversation. The few people they do trust had to earn it by showing consistency between their words and actions. It might take months or even years before a Sigma male fully trusts someone, simply because they've seen too many examples of people saying whatever sounds good in the moment. This isn't about having trust issues. It's about being realistic about how people behave. They've learned that actions speak louder than words, and most people's actions tell a very different story than their words. Number 7. They only open up to those they truly trust. Most people share their life stories over a few drinks or post their feelings on social media. But Sigma males keep their cards close to their chest. They'll listen to others' problems all day long, but ask about their own life, and you'll probably get a polite but vague answer. It's not that they don't have struggles or feelings to share. They just know how personal information often becomes gossip or gets used against them later. They've seen how quickly private conversations turn into public knowledge, or how people use your vulnerabilities to manipulate you when it's convenient for them. These men can hang out with the same group for years without ever really letting them in. They'll join conversations, help solve problems, even give advice, but they rarely share their own deep thoughts or personal challenges. To most people, they're a bit of a mystery. Think of it like having a vault inside them. Sure, they'll let people see what's in the lobby, but the real valuable stuff, that's behind several layers of security. You need to prove yourself trustworthy over and over again before they'll even consider showing you what's inside. The ironic thing is that many people don't even notice this. They're so busy talking about themselves that they never realize how little they actually know about their Sigma friend. And that's exactly how these guys prefer it. When they do find someone they trust enough to open up to, it's because that person has shown real loyalty and discretion. Maybe they've kept secrets when others couldn't, or stood by them when everyone else walked away. These rare connections become incredibly valuable to them. They might seem aloof or distant to most people, but protecting their inner world is more important than appearing friendly or open. They'd rather be seen as mysterious than regret sharing too much with the wrong person.